Hello guys, we have made it to Kotor Bay in Montenegro finally after spending a few days in Dubrovnik. Coming from Croatia, it was a very short ride to the border and then we crossed the Croatian or the European border first with our just general ID cards. If you're a European, then you can enter Montenegro with your ID and stay for a maximum of 30 days. But if you use your international passport, you can stay up to 90 days. Once we passed the Croatian border, we then went on to the Montenegrin one. There it took a little bit longer, there was a bit more of a line, but all we had to do was once again give them our ID and then we were good to go. Unfortunately, as soon as we entered Montenegro, it started raining. So we skipped Herceg Novi, which we would have visited otherwise, and just drove all around the bay, all the way to where we were staying in this beautiful apartment.
The apartment was located on the lake between Kotor and Tivat and was perfectly equipped for our 3-night stay with a fully furnished kitchen and even an amazing balcony looking out on the lake and the town Perast across the lake.
We've really enjoyed our stay here, and in this video we are taking you along to see the most beautiful places around the bay itself, but also the coast of Montenegro. Alright, so let's get going.
Once we were checked in, we headed straight to Kotor, driving along the pretty towns and catching our first glimpse of the Great Wall of Montenegro, as my boyfriend has called it. We decided to try to avoid the crowds from the cruise that was docked here and the day trippers coming from all the neighboring countries and cities like Dubrovnik and Mostar. So we arrived at the Old Town of Kotor around 5:30 p.m. just when the cruise visitors were leaving. We parked right at the Old Town for 80 cents an hour. It is here that we decided not to climb the Great Wall of Montenegro, which takes 90 minutes to 2 hours. It has epic views though, but instead we'd rather go for a stroll through the old city center. I wouldn't recommend getting the city pass since we could visit the churches for free. Some sites that you shouldn't miss in the Old Town are the Old Bazaar, that is if, like me, you keep giving your family souvenirs instead of grandchildren. Also the palaces, which have a sign naming them, narrow streets, cute squares and markets, and of course lots and lots of cats. They are everywhere. The city is kind of known for them. The impressive city walls have 3 gates, through which for centuries people have came in and out of the town. The Gurdic gate is the prettiest one, but whichever gate you choose, every road will bring you to the most famous building, the Cathedral Sveti Tripun. We couldn't enter this one unfortunately, but we did see many other beautiful churches, from Christian to Orthodox churches. The cable car and the Alpine roller coaster unfortunately hadn't reopened yet at the start of April. You can, however, walk on the city walls itself. Before heading home, we got a SIM card at the mall that for 25 euros we could use in our next 3 countries that were not EU included. A great deal. We started driving back as the sun was setting and were treated to the most stunning sunset along the lake. We then packed away our groceries and cooked up a cheap supermarket meal before bed.
It is our first full day in Kotor, or around Kotor Bay right now, and we are going on a private boat trip around the bay. We are going to the little church island, to Perast, and we are being picked up at our accommodation and dropped off again here. We will start at 1 p.m. and we will end back here around 5-ish. So that is a whole 4 hours instead of the 1.5 hour 20 euro boat rides. We are paying 60, because he is giving us a discount because it's still very early season, which is such a bargain. And yeah, we are very much looking forward to it. It is a beautiful day. We were welcomed here yesterday with some rain, unfortunately, but it is looking much better today. So let's go.
But first, an easy and affordable lunch.
All right. Wow, this boat trip is by far the best possible option. We are so happy with our driver Anton, who we believe is the father of our contact because he is meant to be working today, so his father, who is on his pension, is just driving us around with the boat. We have made it to the first stop of the day, which is Our Lady on the Rocks, a church on the only artificial island in the Adriatic Sea. The legend goes that fishermen saw an image here of the Madonna with Child, and they kept returning to the same place to throw a rock until the island was formed. So this one right here you can visit for €3 per person. It has lots of like arts inside, paintings, etc. And the other one, the other island right behind here, is St. George. So this island is off limits. That is the original church on an island of the bay. So these are the only two islands here in the bay that we are sightseeing for a little bit. And then we are off to Perast, which is an even smaller city than Kotor. It is only 1.5 kilometers just from one end to another.
Perast is one of the best preserved towns on the entire Adriatic coast. Venetian-era palaces, squares and churches are beautifully preserved as reminders of Perast's golden age as a trading port and maritime training center. The history of Perast is fascinating. First settled by Illyrian tribes, Perast flourished under the Venetian Republic, leaving 18 preserved palaces that you can still see. In the town lived 12 clans or casada of wealthy fishermen, traders and mariners who built their beautiful palaces along the harbor. The first maritime school in the Balkans was founded here and was attended by some of Europe's most celebrated admirals. Unfortunately, the St. Nicholas Church, the most prominent one, was not open for a visit at the time we were there. It is dedicated to the protector of travelers on the water, just like we are. The city even fell victim to African pirates once, which you can read about here.
Did we disturb you? Yeah. Hello.
Day out on the lake and ended it with a drink on our dock at sunset. If we had more time, we would have loved to see the Blue Cave or tried a glass of wine at Kraken, a floating underwater wine cellar bar.
Good morning, guys. Today we are going to the coastline of Montenegro. So right now we are in the Bay of Kotor, quite close to Kotor. We are going to drive past Tivat, which is kind of like the big yachting town around the bay, and then make our way to Budva and Sveti Stefan. So let's go and have a look what the Montenegrin coastline looks like. We will not be going swimming because it's April and it would be way too cold, but here's what the towns look like.
The drive from where we were staying to Tivat only took us 15 minutes, passing by the ferry port where you can cross to Herceg-Novi. We parked for 50 cents an hour and went for a stroll along the marina and the promenade. This marina full of big yachts makes you feel like you teleported to Monaco, luxury shopping included. got back in the car and drove to a very off the beaten path destination. This stunning waterfall in the mountains between Budva and Sveti Stefan. This is where the Kukuchi waterfall is located, and as you can see, there's another one. A bit further up the road, not crossing the private property, but in front of this white house, behind the shed, is where you will find the path leading to this absolute gem. Here is my personalized map of where to drive, park, and walk. We have made it to Sveti Stefan, but the gates are closed. We don't know why, we don't know when it's open, but it seems to be temporarily closed on the island itself. But the beaches here are beautiful and the water looks actually very inviting, and people are already swimming, all the locals. And we believe there's a walking path that goes to another bay that people are going as well. It was 4 euros for an hour of parking here, which I guess we won't be spending that much time here after all. The waterfalls were amazing, and we'll try and get back to Budva now. Now that hopefully by the end of the afternoon people are leaving, because it was impossible to get a parking spot there on a Saturday midday or like around 1 p.m. Everyone was wanting to go into the city. So yeah, we'll try that again on our way back, and for now, have a walk along the beach. That was so pretty and so unexpected. Real hidden gems, some real proper explorations we've done today. I've never seen such a beautiful garden right on the beach, and then the hidden pathway through the tunnel. Just so much fun. Now let's give Budva another try. We've just about run out of our hour of parking, so we're gonna make our way back. We found a parking spot and finally got into Montenegro's most popular destination for beach holidays, the town called Budva. The Budva ballerina is an iconic image along the coast, looking out onto the fortified Old Town. It is one of the oldest towns along the Adriatic coast, at 2,500 years old and counting. The cobbled streets lead you along beautiful buildings and numerous churches. You can walk the town walls or visit historical sites such as the Citadel, which is what we did, but first we had a €3 local draft and wine at Lemon Tree. Then it was time to visit the Citadel. Aside from the cool library and a collection of old ship models, you have a great panoramic view over the town and the island Sveti Nikola, where the white sandbar beach called Hawaii Beach is a hit in summertime. After our visit to the Citadel, we walked back through the Old Town, towards the car that was parked right at the gates for only 80 cents an hour. We drove back to our apartment, enduring the roadworks that will make your visit this summer a lot smoother, and of course, the narrow road winding along the bay that is only really made for one car at a time. It is not for the faint-hearted, but we made it back to our stay one final time.
That is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming videos. There will be more of Montenegro, Albania, Bosnia, and Croatia, Slovenia. So definitely see you in the next video. Bye!